Hello, collective, wherever you are. Hope your summer's safe, summer's warm, surrounded by love, light, happiness, joy, abundance, and filled with so much faith. Real quick, can you do me a favor? Can you hit that like button, please? Please hit share if you like to share, and please hit subscribe and turn that notification bell on to all so you can always be updated whenever I put another message out there for you guys. And if you like to donate, you do not have to. It's not a requirement, but it is definitely truly appreciated. The information's in the description box down below. And thank you from the bottom up, but with all my heart, ahead of time to anybody and everybody who chooses to do so, and to everybody who has been. And thank you to anybody that chooses to do the super thanks as well. That's in the, where the comments are. There's the little super things, and thank you to the person that I don't want to say your name, just out of protection for you, who did that for me yesterday. Thank you. You're my first one to give me a super thanks. So thank you. I truly appreciate you. And thank you to everybody that's been giving me birthday wishes today. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you all. It means a lot to me. So thank you so much. And a happy birthday to one of my subscribers whose birthday is also today. Happy birthday, and I pray that you're having a beautiful and blessed birthday. And I hope you're having like the best birthday of your life. Okay, so far, because hopefully next year will be even better. Hopefully every single year gets better and better. All right, guys. So I apologize. I was planning on going live tonight, but that video is still not uploaded. So look, see. It's still not here. See, there's not enough storage space in here, and it's still not uploaded. So I did these two videos yesterday morning, and it's still not uploaded. So whatever. I guess I'm gonna have to try for tomorrow, because again, like I was telling you before, with the whole issue with the storage space thing, and when I was trying to go live before, I was doing it on this phone, and it just wasn't like, it kept, it has spyware on my phone. All right, so it kept going in and out, and I don't want you to miss the message. So what I'm planning on doing is, I'm gonna try going live tomorrow then, because it's 10 o'clock at night. It's 10:14 at night. It's, it's late. So I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. And because God only knows how long it's still going to take. It still didn't even start preparing yet. It's still uploading. And after that, not preparing, processing. It's just uploading. It still has to process after this. So, I don't know how long it's going to take, guys. But it's too late to do it. But yeah, so what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to go live on one phone, and I'm going to record it on the other phone. So this way, if it cuts in and out, if anybody messes with my internet, then I'll still have it recorded, so I can still upload the video after, if anything happens. But I'm praying that nothing happens, that I get a good connection, you know what I mean? And so hopefully it works, but I'm going to attempt to do it tomorrow. Once I have, the funds to be able to buy a new phone, I'm definitely going to buy a new phone and get a new carrier and everything. And then get a brand new phone, a brand new phone number, a new carrier and everything, because it's just getting ridiculous. The haters be hating, but it's all good though, because we still keep pushing through. We still keep showing up. We ain't letting nobody stop us. No. All right, let's get right in. And thank you again, everybody, for all the birthday wishes. These are absolutely amazing. God bless your beautiful souls tenfold. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Holy Spirit, Divine Spirit, angels, ancestors, loved ones passed away. What does the collective need to know and need to be aware of? Oh, you're in some sort of information. Okay, of course, there we go. We are getting some sort of information, a message about somebody that's holding on to something that belongs to you. 10-10, completion, it's end of a cycle. All right, from whatever, it's 4 of Pentacles, from whatever they're holding on to that belongs to you. Nice. Yeah, it's like information of like wisdom and knowledge about it. Holy Spirit, Divine Spirit, angels, ancestors, and loved ones that passed away. What does the collective need to know? They need to be aware of the Chariot. Ooh, you're progressing too. It could be a car that's involved. Somebody could have stole a car from you. The 4 of Pentacles. Somebody's holding on to a car or a horse or a boat. Shit, you might find out that someone done left you fucking a horse ranch or something, or like I don't even know. A Mustang. It could be a Mustang possibly. Yeah. You tell me, my darling. But whatever it is, you're progressing. You're rapid. This could even be like being in transit, getting ready to come to you. But whatever this is a lot, okay? Because like, look, see how he's sitting on top of the horse, like, you know what I mean? Somebody could have also got arrested for what they stole from you. With the Chariot, because that can be like, whoop whoop, son of the police. Whoop whoop, son of the police. Somebody could be Amish. I don't know where that just came from, but yeah, MG could be somebody's initials. H could be like someone's first, middle, last name, the initial. C could be somebody's initial, first, middle, or last. Hearing the name Mike, Mikey, Michael, Mikkel, Molly. I'm hearing Molly, or somebody could be doing Molly. You might find out someone got locked up. Maybe that's what that message is going to be about. Maybe someone getting locked up and they won't let them out for what they stole from you, what they're holding on to that belongs to you. But you're progressing, you're rapidly progressing, and I love it. I love to hear it. 5 of Cups, they're in deep emotional pain because they have to release what is not theirs. Boo-hoo, right? Like, are you kidding me? Like, they have the nerve to be in deep emotional pain about having to release because it's a completion, 10-10, completion, end of a cycle from them holding on to something that was never theirs. How do they think that you felt when they stole this from you? Like, are they kidding me right now? But yeah, but remember when you had like nowhere to go, you know, when you were out in the cold, collected, remember, you know, when they stole, and I already know what it is. This is inheritance, I guarantee you. Yeah, remember when you didn't have a car because they stole the car from you? Remember when, you know what I mean? You didn't know what you were going to do. You didn't know when you were going to get your next meal. You went days without eating, you know, and you know what I'm saying? You didn't know like how you're going to come up with the money to pay your rent, you know. You remember them days? I remember them very vividly, very clear. And guess what? They remember it too. They remember laughing at us from those days. And, you know, while they were sitting there holding on to our money. Sitting luxurious. Let me tell you about something, guys, right? Back in 2017, these scumbags killed my father, right? Stole my inheritance. My dad left me a trailer. Yeah, and, you know, my dad had a lot of stuff. Like, my dad had a lot, I'm talking a lot of stuff, okay? And these scumbags, like, literally, I was in Florida, down in Florida. Then I found out later that, you know, I was sent down to Florida so that they can do this. All right, to get me out the way. I was supposed to not make it back from Florida, but I am, you know, they couldn't unalive me. They attempted to, did not work. When I came home, they attempted to. They weren't expecting me to come back, okay? These scumbags, like, you have no idea the things that these people have to put me through. All right, they lit my dad's trailer on fire with me in it. Not even like a week or two after, I told this lady that I used to call, like, I looked at her like a stepmom. She was never that. Like, she wasn't even with my dad. It was my dad's best friend. She used to go out my dad back in the day when I was a kid. All right, and I just looked at her like because it was my dad's best friend, and they used to go out when I was like a baby. Like, I was like literally like a baby. I was probably like 3 years old or something like that. They briefly dated, but you know, my dad always took care of her. Like, he was like her sugar daddy, you know what I'm saying? I found out later, you know, after my dad, you know, after everything happened with my father, that everyone called her the Black Widow because all of her boyfriends and all of her husbands magically ended up passed away, and she ended up with all this money, right? Now, had I known that beforehand, you know what I mean? No. And the reason why they sent me to Florida was because they knew that, you know, there was no way in hell that I would ever there was no way any of this would go down if had I known anything. And not only, like, so I told her how like, my biggest fear at the time was, like, was to pass away, you know, in a fire. Can you believe this bitch really, not even a week or two later, lit my dad's trailer on fire after drugging me, right? After drugging me. So, and she's been poisoning me and everything else. My hair was falling out. I was throwing up blood. I went to the hospital after, right? I sprained. This is how I knew about the lines in your nails. You know, you're being poisoned. It's arsenic poisoning, because I went for, like, you know, it was a while after this. I sprained my ankle, and I went to the hospital because my ankle swelled up really bad. Right, and the nurse came up to me and was like, Miss M's, do you know anybody? She was like freaking out when she seen my nails. I was like, what? And she's like bugging out. I'm like, what? And she's like, do you know anybody that would want to harm you? And I was like, what? And I'm thinking in my head, like, if you only fucking knew. But I didn't want to say nothing, you know what I mean? Because I didn't want her to call the cops and everything else. And she was like, well, no. She's like, look, you have signs of arsenic poisoning. She's like telling me, you know, And she was like explaining to me with the lines of my nails, and I was like, what? And I already knew. I was like, oh shit, they're gonna call the cops. I was like, you know, because someone's poisoning you. So I up and left. I AMA'd the hospital. I didn't want, you know what I mean? They ended up sending the cops to my house, you know, looking for me, but I wasn't home. But yeah, so that's like, you know, and so that's already on documentation that I was being poisoned, you know, when I was at the hospital. But going back now, that was, you know, fast forward, but going back, okay, so I told her that my biggest fear was to die in a fire. Well, thank you for making me face my biggest fear, because I am not afraid of it no more. They drugged me, they poisoned me. I was just about to go to sleep. This is the second attempt. The first attempt, it was a week after, you know, I told her that. Then they tried to make it look like an electrical fire. I thank God, something told me to check it. I found it, and that time too, I was getting real tired. Found out they drugged me then too. But something was like, no, like I was like struggling to keep my eyes open. Then I started smelling smoke. I went over to the electrical outlet, and which I told him too, because you know that means the breaker that comes in the copper, like, you know, for in the breaker in your, you know, the electrical thing. I was like, yo, somebody clipped the big wad thing, you know, the big thing. So you couldn't have anything plugged in. It was winter time too. So they did that so that my pipes would freeze too. It was the coldest day of the winter, one of the coldest days, all right? And so the pipes ended up freezing. I didn't know to leave like water dripping, and the pipes froze. They went out. They cut the fucking my hose off so that because obviously after the fire, after it gets warm enough, you know, the pipes are gonna unfreeze. So they made sure I couldn't cut. They took every single one of my dad's. My dad was like, you know, real big on because he was like literally my dad reminds me of Nikola Tesla. Like 1,000,000%, like he reminds me of Nikola Tesla. He is so, my dad is like ridiculously smart. Like he is a genius. It's insane how smart he was. But like he was always creating and building things before they started, you know, drugging him and poisoning him. And he had every single room. There was multiple fire extinguishers. These scumbags went and took every single fire extinguisher out. The first attempt, I put it out. They tried to get me to leave, and then they're like, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, bitch, no, like I'm not leaving. Are you kidding me? There's other people in this trailer park. Like, you know, look at all the stuff that's in my dad's house that was like, you know, that could, you know, go boom. I was like, there's other people, and I was like, I'm making sure. I was like, I put the fire out, and I knew what he was doing. I knew he was trying to get me away because they were going to relight the fire and make it look like it was that. But I freaked out. I was like, get me out of this car right now. So I went back, you know. I stayed there, and they're mad because I wouldn't leave the house. Now, like not even a week after that, it was a couple days later, all of a sudden, because I got a fire extinguisher from the one neighbor, and they came and asked me for that fire extinguisher back. I had it sleeping, like, you know, sitting right next to my bed, but then they asked for it back. The day after they asked for it back, again, I was, you know, they drugged me, and I was about to go to sleep, and like, I just lay down in my dad's bed. Now, mind you, this whole time they were robbing me left and right, and dude, it was insane. My dad had a lot of stuff, a lot. When I tell you my dad had, you know, my ex used to tell me all the time, like, yo, Misty, you know that just that one little coin collection was over $1 million, and it was. Just the one box of coin collection that I had, let alone everything else my dad had, and let alone his money that he left me that she stole as well. And they were like, so then all of a sudden I was just about to go to sleep, and I smelled fucking fire burning. And I'm not going to make it into like a long story, but yeah, I ended up, you know, finding that now my house burned down. I forget where I was going with this. What was the whole point of this? I don't even remember. What was I saying about this? I forget what the whole point of this whole conversation was. I don't even remember what I was going with this. I had a total brain fart. Hold on, let me see if I can remember. I'm just having a brain fart. I'm sorry, like I said, I can't remember what the fuck I was saying about this. Where I was going with it. Oh, about grief pants are asking me about what they're holding on to. Okay, so yeah, now mind you, my dad bought her the trailer. She was living the trailer across the street from her, and then the 2 trailers like over that she was living in, plus like the one trailer that was her son was living in that was actually my dad's money that paid for it. The cars they had, my dad bought, and she sold everything for me, right? And what do you call it? So after they burnt the house down, my dad had this huge shed. It was a huge shed. He built himself, and he had a lot of stuff in there. He was, he was a mechanic, and he had a lot of tools, but he was like a master of all trades. And I was living in this little freaking shed, and the coldest day of the winter, I literally almost died. But my ex, he just came in, you know what I mean? I looked at him like my saving grace because of this. He played his cards pretty good then, and because nobody else even checked on me. It was the coldest day of winter. I was living in this shed. I was so cold, and now I had no electricity. It used to have electricity, but they had a house fire. You know what I mean? The house fire made it go, and it was like a wooden shed, and my dad and me. And when I tell you, my dad had so much stuff in there, and this is the only thing I had left my dad. So like I was guarding it because they were even going back to the trailer and stealing stuff every night, and they were taking stuff and then they were reburning the tires of the trailer so that like the soot would come over. And because I didn't know Craftsman tools, there is a lifetime warranty on it. My dad had so many tools, it's disgusting. My dad had so much of everything, literally every single tool known to man. My dad had multiples of, and he even made his own, like whatever. So they were going to just rob me left and right. I was in the shed. I was living in the shed, looking. If you ever seen the show Trailer Park Boys, I was like Bubbles. I kid you not, except for I was not going around collecting cans or shopping carts. But for real, on some real shit, this is some fucked up stuff. I was living in my shed. My dad shed at the coldest time of the year, in a chair. I literally lived in this. And I used to have to pay my neighbor to go use the bathroom. Sometimes I even peed and went into the bathroom in a bucket. I'm not even kidding you. But I was protecting my dad's stuff because they were like literally out. They were going in the shed while I was in there. They were like they had like a little tunnel. My neighbor, Jimmy, I still love you, but whatever. He did it when my dad was alive. My dad was in the shed the one day, and he dug a hole. He said he was sitting there. All of a sudden, he sees Jimmy's head pop up underneath the hole. My dad's like, "What are you doing?" My dad was 6'7". My dad was a tall man. He was 6'7" biker. He put his head. What are you doing, Jimmy? Get the fuck out of here. Whatever. But they were coming in through there. I tried boarding that up. Me and my Uncle Ruthless made this barbed wire with we put this barbed wire and fish hooks they'll put around there because people were coming in. They're robbing me left and right, and it's all I had left of my dad. It's not even the material stuff. It's just it was my dad, and it's all I had left of him. And I was living in there until they got me kicked out of there too. But even on the coldest day, it was so cold in that shed. When I tell you, and I was what I was living in, and what I was sitting on, I slept in a kitchen. It was a kitchen chair, okay, a wooden kitchen chair. You see, the old school regular wooden chairs. I slept in that, freezing my butt off, you know what I mean? Because anytime I would leave there, they would be robbing it. Even when I was in there, people were coming in. They would come in with a couple people. They try to talk to me so that the other person would go in. And I'm like, dude, get the, And my ex ended up coming that one day too, the coldest day. And I looked at him like my savior, because he came, pulled up, and he had a heated blanket plugged in his car, and he checked on me, and I was so cold. And that day they said that, on the news, they're like, it's so cold out, don't be outside, because if you're outside for more than 15, if your skin's showing for 15 minutes, your skin's showing, you're going to get frostbite. Well, I was in this freaking shed, no heat, no nothing. My Uncle Ruthless already went to prison. He's in prison for, third degree unalivement, and something he didn't even do. But, they locked him up. But before he got locked up, he used to come over and give me kerosene. So I'd have but I didn't have any kerosene for the kerosene heater, and plus you can't be breathing that in, so you can only have it on for so long, and then but I didn't have no kerosene, nothing. I was in there freezing, I had so many jackets on. I had a blanket wrapped around me, and I was freezing, shivering, and I was so cold, my fingers and everything were starting to go numb. My ex came and knocked on the shed door, and I'm trying to scream, but I was so cold I couldn't move, and I'm trying to move, and I was literally, I felt like I was frozen. I couldn't move. He was getting ready to leave, but I'm trying to and I didn't even know who was there, but I finally was able to move my leg a little bit, so it made a noise. So he ended up pulling the shed door open, it's the one that once you pull up. He pulls it open, he sees me, and he's like, "Oh my God, Misty, oh my God, Misty." He's like, "Look, I already had a heated blanket. Go." He's like, "I'll bring you." It's go in there. He's like, "Don't worry." I was like, "Well, I need a grip." He's like, "No, just go." And he had to help me to the car, and I had to heat. So I was so grateful for him. He went and got me a hotel room that night, and I was like, "But I can't leave." He's like, "Misty, you're gonna die out here. What are you doing?" But I was looking at him like my saving grace. Okay, no, he was planning. That's why he came with the heated blanket. He knew I was in there. He was planning. He was 1,000,000% a part of the whole thing. They said send him into with the same name as my father. Like, so, oh, we'll send her in. Like, so that's only him in. So he's the only person that, like, you know, you're saving grace. Yeah, whatever. Found out that that was all fucking a setup. But whatever. And but like then she's over there in 2 trailers over in a trailer my dad bought her, right? With my dad's cameras and everything else, laughing and like while sitting in like a warm place while I'm out there freezing. And she's like, you know what I mean? Like, are you kidding me? And yeah, remember those days? So remember when we're in court, bitch. Okay, remember when we're in court and you want me to have pity on you. Okay, yeah, remember that? Remember poisoning me? You remember that? You want me to have mercy on you? No, I don't think so. Remember mocking my father's death and how you told me that, you know what this bitch did to me, guys? I'm at her trailer, right? My dad's trailer, let's actually say. Okay, which she ended up losing, whatever. But she was like, is that right after my dad died? Right after the house burned down, right? Right after, you know, the house burned down and everything else. She was acting like for like a week or two that I could stay at her place, that she was being nice and helping me out. She was not. And then she was telling me the one night that, because my dad was always in and out the hospital his whole life, all right, and she was telling me that one time she ended up had to go to the hospital, okay, because she had, you know, I forget whatever, was something wrong with her stomach, and now she was like, goes in the hospital, and my dad bought her this car, the car that she had, so my dad was there, and they said that they had to do surgery, you know, it was going to be however long, they're going to put her down to go ahead and leave, and then she was like, go ahead, just leave and come back when you're ready. Well, my dad, she was freaking out because she was trying to get a hold of him. And he wasn't answering. It's because my dad, she's like, yeah, next thing you know, I look over, and there goes Billy, you going like this, going doing like the Princess Diana wave to her, and he was on on a stretcher. They were taking him back, and she was like, yeah, you couldn't let me have this is what she tells me, you couldn't let me have my 15 minutes of fame. Oh, you're always in the hospital, and this one time you want to let me have my 15 minutes of fame? Okay. And guess what he was in the hospital for this time? Like, why he was being pulled on a stretcher? He had a brain aneurysm. And they took out part of, you know, they had to give him brain surgery. He survived that. My dad survived like so much shit. It's insane. And she was mad about that. She's like, yeah, well, guess who has the last laugh now? Because she pulled the plug on my dad. She did it on purpose. Like, she did it on purpose. And then she had the nerve to tell me this. Do you have any idea what it took for me not to, like, take matters in my own hands? But, I already knew what she was doing to me, and I wasn't letting her beat me at it, and I was like, no, all right, so, but I was like, all right, just collecting all my, you know, being very observant. She thought I was stupid or something, like, she really thought I was stupid, but little did she know that I was just doing my part, because I knew what she was doing, and until this day comes, yeah, this is back, and I've been dealing with this stuff since 2015, 2016, when they killed my mom, and then after, you know, then my dad and everything they tried to do to me, poisoning me, drugging me, poisoning me. I was throwing up, my hair was falling out, I was throwing up blood. She kept feeding me like this food she kept saying it was because she's Italian and it's spicy, and I love spicy food, so I didn't think anything of it until, you know, somebody, I'm not going to say who it is, because I'm not going to throw out his name out there, but, told me, I was like, yeah, it's weird, like, how come every time Pat, like, cooks food, like, because the one guy, he was a really good cook. I was like, it tastes, you know, banging. He's a really good cook. But whenever I get it from her, it tastes spicy. Like, it's spicy. I was like, I don't mind it because I like spice, but it's just weird. Whenever I get it from him, it's not spicy. Then the one day she made me pancakes, and the pancakes were spicy. And I was like, something's not right here. So I confided into somebody, and I was like, dude, like, this doesn't make sense. And at first, I thought my hair was falling out, and I was throwing up blood from the stress. But no. Then the person was like, no, that's because it was, you know, that's arsenic poisoning. And then when I went to the hospital, and I had lines going down my fingernails, and the hospital told me that you know, they sent the cops to my house because I left a maid, because I knew that they were gonna send, like, you know, they were gonna call, like, have the cops come in if I was being poisoned. So I took off because I was like, no, I'm not doing that. So I took off, but then I wasn't home yet, and they ended up going to my house apparently looking for me. But yeah, crazy stuff. But then she had they have the nerve, though, to be upset, right, about having to release what they're holding on to. That was never theirs in the first place. But they didn't care, though, times like that, right? Like when, you know, when I was out in the freaking, you know, in the shed freezing, literally, she was celebrating that, laughing about that. Or they lit my house on fire and everything else like that, where you're getting some sort of freaking Page of Pentacles, a message about money, possibly, about this, I'm surely getting. But, like, for instance, just think about those days, collective. So when they want mercy on you, when they want you to have mercy on them in the courtroom, Think about every single day, everything they did to you while they had your money, right? While they had your money, okay? Whatever they stole from you, just think about that. Do not give these people not a bit of mercy, because first of all, they can't even admit to what they did. They still have, how long has it been, collective? It's going to be different for each one of you. This has been going back since 2015, 2000, well, with my dad and everything, it was 2016. Do that, but my mom passed away in 2015. They had everything to do with that as well, because they knew my mom, had like, they couldn't get away with anything if my mom was alive. My mom would be beating every single one of them up. There's no way that would have happened. And the one person, that took the blame, like whatever, the one person even told me that, they're like, if Cindy was alive, it would be a wrap, like, and told the woman this, the one that stole my inheritance. But yeah, just think about everything that you went to, the worst times in your life, while they were still holding on to your inheritance, while they're doing this, while they're torturing you, and now, mind you too, back in 2000, when this gang stalk and everything first started with me, this was back in 2015, 2016. Nobody heard of this. I had no idea what gang stalking was. Everybody thought I was crazy, and you know what it's like. That's what they try to make you look like you're crazy, and that it'll make you feel like you're crazy. It makes you want to not talk to anybody because you're afraid to talk to anybody, because you're afraid that they're going to go after that person, you know what I mean? But just think about that. So when they want you to have mercy in the courtroom, collective, no, absolutely not. And first of all, for a lot of us, these people unalived, purposely unalived our loved one that passed away, that left this inheritance to us, okay? Not only that, they attempted to unalive you. So if you give them any bit of mercy, you would be disrespecting your loved one that they took out. So do not show them one bit of mercy. Make them get the maximum penalty imposed, because they deserve it. They deserve to rot in hell. This bitch even went and collected, went and collected money for a funeral for my father and kept all the money. We never had a funeral. You disgusting, disgraceful pig. And I know you watch my channel. And I'm getting the last laugh, bitch. I promise you that. And I promise you're going to pass away in a prison cell. The last judgment, they misjudged you heavily. It's in the reverse. They misjudged you heavily. 10 of Pentacles, what I say. Inheritance. They misjudged you heavily. And there was an unjust when it came to this inheritance. And your ex had everything to do with it. They sent your ex in to finish the job and to keep an eye on you. But they needed you around for a certain amount of time, you know what I mean? And they make you look crazy and everything else, or for some of you to try to get you to come in. Thank you, Spirit. 5 of Pentacles. They're left out in the cold. Of course they are. The Lovers and the Chariot. You might find out your ex with this couple got locked up. They feel left out in the cold, or but they didn't care. Like, remember when you didn't have nothing to eat? Remember when you were living like outside, or whatever you were doing, whatever happened, okay? You know what I mean? Maybe it's a couple, or someone could have, your ex or somebody could have broke up. Someone could have kicked out of a house. The Chariot. Somebody, or it could be your ex or a couple, could have got locked up. They could have got kicked out of a home or something. They feel left out of, like, they misjudged you, heavily misjudged you. They got you fucked up, collective. You're progressing, but I'm also getting, if you came into union with your divine counterpart, you're progressing in it. You're rapidly progressing. Your bond is getting closer. Or even if you didn't come in union yet, I feel like you're going to be coming into union, and you're progressing. You might be moving away with your divine counterpart as well. I'm strongly getting your divine counterpart might have like broke up with their ex, and is coming forward with you to come into union with you. Seven of Wands, you're protected. You're heavily protected. And guys, look, this card right here, this just shows you this extra card that comes in this deck. Now, with the extra cards that come in the deck, you can set your intention on it for whatever you want. It just shows you how to do the QR code to give you the instructions on the cards. Well, I set the intention on this, like this white part is, so if it comes face up, it's like it's God stepped in, it's in God's hands. If it comes reversed, I set it in like for the devil stepped in, devil collect the soul. Okay, so it but yeah, you're protected because God stepped in. It's in God's hands, and whatever this situation is. Well, we already know it's the inheritance because the 10 of Pentacles already came out. Ten of Cups, family. Okay, it's like your family. You have some karmic family members that feel left out. Okay, because they totally misjudged you. They thought. But also, I'm strongly getting you're coming into union with your divine counterpart if you didn't already, and you're moving forward. You're about to have this happy family, happy home. You know what I mean? You're about to have it all with your divine counterpart. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. Four of Swords. God heard your prayers. You healed from whatever this stuff was in the past. These assholes have done to you. All right. They didn't think. They misjudged you. They didn't think that you would be able to heal from any of this, especially your ex and anybody else and your karmic families. They were trying to unalive you, like whoever this was that like tried to steal this inheritance from you. They thought for sure that it's gonna be over. That's why they sent this person in, your ex, in, because they were meant to come in, break your heart, and then actually unalive you. But they're weak. They were unable to do it. They're a piece of crap. You kicked them out. You kicked the ex out before they could finish the job. Dumbasses. Don't get me wrong. They have poisoned you many times in the past. They were unable to finish the job though because you were too protected. They attempted to many of times. Oh, they definitely did. And there's evidence of them poisoning you as well. And your karmic family too. Three of Pentacles, and anybody that worked with these people, it's a wrap. They're all left out. And anybody in your family that worked with these people to steal your inheritance, now if they had any parts of their inheritance, they're getting kicked out of they're not going to be, you know what I mean? They're kicked out of the will or whatever, or whatever they stole. They're going to have to whatever their shares were, if they had any shares at all. For some of you, it's it was like stuff was left to you and other people. But for instance, for me, I'm my dad's only child, so my dad left me everything. My dad left me everything, but my grandfather, though, my grandparents, my mom and my papa, they passed away. My mom, I know my mom and my papa, they left me stuff, and my other M's family, which I have yet to get a penny from. Okay, so which you know what I mean. So say, all right, let's just say if somebody in my dad's side of the family, if they stole anything from what my grandparents have left me, what do you call it, then they're gonna have to they're going to jail for that, they're going to prison for that, and not only that, whatever they're probably gonna end up giving you whatever their share was, because they're gonna have to owe you so much money, you know what I'm saying, from what they stole from you. Yeah, don't think I don't know about that too, because I do. Eight of Wands is coming in quick. It came on the fence. It's telling me this is a backfire. You're getting some sort of quick communication.